But you won't let me look. What up? I was gonna make this members only. Um, Let me see. All chats are visible. Yeah. I was gonna make this members only, and then I said, "No, I'll give y'all the exclusive on the members only." But yeah, welcome. Look, I know that even in my members, there's a whole bunch of lurkers, a bunch of people who shouldn't even be there, right? Like you got people who have said all kind of crazy stuff about me and my character, but yet they became, like, oh, I don't want nothing to do with this person, right? But yet they are members of my channel, which is weird. So it sounds like you're stalking, right? You're a weirdo. If I don't rock with you, I just don't rock with you. If I don't believe in your content, I don't subscribe. So that's why I said, let me just make this public because I was going to make it members only. I am helping to produce a story, and this is a story that's going to hit on all different levels, magnitudes that are, you know, something to. I just think people will be shocked when it all comes out. And I said, let me give you guys a peek into what's going on behind the scenes because yeah, there's a lot more going on than what people see on the outside or whatever. I'm gonna post up right here. Rest in peace, Nip. So yeah, there's a lot more going on than what people realize behind the scenes. Yeah, the story that we are referring to is the Roc Nation lawsuit, where Demore Hadley is suing her mother and Roc Nation. What's up, A. Reed? What's up, Jay? What's up? Truth Only 8. And yeah, they're being sued. And I know you got content creators who are out here like, well, the reason why that they're suing and they got they mentioned Jaguar is included, not in the lawsuit, but in the story that we're releasing and that we're helping to push out. And they want to say someone else is included. Nah, we're not even include. We're not even talking about that person. I'm not even gonna say their name, but we all know. And I guess they're trying to maybe imply that it's a sort of a clout chase, but that's not the case. Um, we're just interested in getting the real information out. We know how these media outlets play, and we know a lot of these media outlets are bought and sold, bought and paid for, and compromised. I talked about compromising media outlets before, so we know how they play. They're out here. They have a particular narrative that they want to push to the public. Even what I was going through, what I was just showing y'all earlier in the week about these protests in LA. Y'all see it's not as it's not as big. It's not as explosive as the media will want you to believe. And, you got things on fire, and they were pushing the narrative. Like I said, y'all heard me last night. What I said, I'm not gonna repeat it, but they're pushing a narrative, you know. And even with this situation that's going on with this lawsuit, and I know I got a bunch of scavengers that are here that were looking to possibly get more information so they can try to run with it. But no, shout out to Demore Hadley and Devon Hadley and their fight for justice. and then you got people that are in the backdrop that are trying to stop it, and it's crazy. So I'm a reveal a little bit more in a few, right? A little bit more information about what I'm talking about in a few. But yeah, producing the story. It's an interview that Jaguar Wright did with Demore Hadley, and she's just letting it go. She's speaking on all the atrocities, all the things that she had experienced at the hands of her mother's involvement, and what they did to what they did to her now husband, and the chaos. She said it herself. There's a whole lot of I mean, y'all got to just look at the interview, to be honest. And then there's a lot more to come. And I think there was a preemptive strike that happened yesterday where, all of a sudden I got hit with a strike. And I'm like, what part of the game is this? And I looked into it. I'm not going to say who struck me. Well, I will say who struck me. But they struck it under false pretenses, and they used one of the Perez's sisters. They used Demore's sister's name, and I'm like, what's this? What's going on? Yeah, they literally use a family member's name as the person who struck me. But then when I looked deeper into it, it's a company that basically, it looks like, I'll just say allegedly. Well, I'm not even gonna say allegedly. Let me just say the company for sure is interested in blocking the real information. They're interested in blocking the truth. Because in the clip, I tied in a Roc Nation employee that Demore was able to finger and say this person for sure was involved in this false narrative that's being pushed out there that they're trying to create about her and her husband's situation. And to me, that's like, number one, that person being involved is it's like a smoking gun. But then now y'all going after the producer or the person who putting this content together to get the story out there. There you go. That's right. Uh, Put it all together. Justice for the Hadleys. There's an organization, there's a company that's coming after the journalist who's putting it together. Oh, now y'all really, what's that? Y'all remember in that scene in Minister Society when what's that brother's name? Y'all know who he is, Bill Dukes. When he's like, you know, all right, Uh, yeah, keep it going. That's all I really got to say. So I've been documenting everything that has been happening since. Of course, again, I know there's certain content creators, shout out to King Swirl, right? He's like, oh, well, I'm a Fed, or I don't have contacts with, oh, yeah, they're honest. I already done sent information to who I need to send information to, because it looks like there are people out here trying to, number one, when you read into the lawsuit, you'll see that there's obstruction of justice for sure. There's a clear cut through line. You can see that there's obstruction of justice. There's certain people in play that are invested in a particular narrative, and they're specifically going after one person, which is Desiree Perez's daughter. And you can see they're all working together. You can see it in the lawsuit, right? And shout out to the Hadleys. They sent me a lot more information so we can really push the story out, because y'all really need to see it. I know there's certain content creators who are out there. They may have had the lawsuit. We've been at the amended lawsuit. Shout out to the attorney. who, you know, hold on, let me add Jag. Shout out to the attorney, Mr. Hilton, who's helping us push the story. Peace. Jag, you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. What's good?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm just tapping in. Got a phone call that came through last minute, so let me
Oh,
get my background set up, and I'll be coming up in just a second. Where are we at?
okay. I just touched on it, and I'm not gonna go too deep because I was letting the audience know. Everybody, y'all hit the like button, please. Got 80 some people in already. I was just letting the audience know that the obstruction of a true news story, a media, is being taken place right now because of the project that you know Demoria Hadley, who's the daughter of Desiree Perez, she wants to get out. She essentially wants to get the story out because there's been a lot of trauma. There's been a lot of things that have. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Appreciate you. There's been a lot of things that have happened to her and her family, and
Mm-hmm.
the story had just been released yesterday, and the public is seeing it. You see the first hour where you interviewed Demoria Hadley, and again, good job on interviewing her. And she even said it. She interviewed with NBC, and the questions that they had for her were not as compelling as the questions you have had to give that you have for her, right? So shout out to you for that. She wants to just get this story out because we already know there are people that are in the media that are compromised, people that will toe the line for certain people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain organizations, certain powers that be. They'll toe the line for them, but they won't toe the line for the truth. And I just kind of touched up on a little bit of cyber harassment that I had received when
Yeah.
as soon as the story get out, there's a clip that's out there that points the finger at a Roc Nation employee who helped with this harassment, with this targeted harassment of Demoria Hadley.
We can do a
And
little better with the likes, guys. Let's get the likes up.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Night. Come on, y'all. Really? It's a mobile upload, so you double tap if you're on your phone, or you just simply hit the like button. Yeah, if
Because
they don't, if they don't,
what it's starting to feel like is that we just have way too many monitoring spirits on this app.
well, yeah. Well, this is what we're gonna do. Let's give it 10 more minutes, and if not, we'll go over to your members only live. Let's do that, and we'll discuss it. Let's do that. We got
Well,
100 some people not liking. So hit the like, y'all.
actually, we had 200 and some odd people just a second ago,
Oh
and
well,
they
I'm just
weren't
looking at
liking
what
it.
I see.
Oh, no, yeah,
Yeah.
it keeps jumping up and down.
Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. All right, yeah. We need to see those likes up, to be honest, because I won't even go any further and we'll just get over to Jags members only. You'll do a live, and I could kind of unpack it there. But even with the live situation, I mean, with the members only situation, I was saying, look, we got people who, we got certain people who are online, and they've had things to say about me, and they got disparaging things to say about you and us, right? And then they're like, oh well, that person is this. They talk about me in a not so nice way, and then they subscribe to my members only, which is weird. Like if you are not interested in me as a person, or if you got bad things to say about me, why are you in my members only? Right? It's weird.
You want to know
It's
what's
weird.
odd? That they can't seem to stay away,
Yeah.
no matter how much they're ignored, no matter how much, I just want to touch on something that's very interesting. A week ago, news hit that content creators, their lives were taken. And nobody seems to want to get that story right. Everyone has a little slightly different version. Now, this what I find really interesting is the fact that both of these content creators barely had 5,000 subscribers, less than 10,000 subscribers together. But all of a sudden, everyone knows who they are. Everyone's been following, but
Hmm.
nobody bothered to pay attention to what was going on.
Hmm.
These were unfortunate people who made some very unfortunate choices with what they chose
Yeah.
to do. But the
Yeah.
biggest problem that I have with all of that is the simple fact that all of this happened on YouTube. Everything that both of the channels were doing were going against community guidelines. People were sending super chats. They were sitting there. They were giving information, going back and forth between the two of each other, creating all of this angst, creating all of this problem, and nobody reported anything. Yet we go live, do incredible content, do incredible journalism, asking thought provoking questions, things that should be considered fair use commentary.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one's adding anything, no one's embellishing anything, no one's poking anything. But yet, our videos get struck. Our videos are
Mm.
constantly trying to demonetize. I'm sorry. I find it a little odd that YouTube is not being held accountable for what happened to these content creators. And this isn't the first time it's happened. It's just starting to get
Yeah.
louder. If people were to
Yeah.
go through the list of content creators that have died because of their association and because of what they've done on this app, the way people have turned calling government officials, calling government agencies, calling the police, calling in fake this, fake that. The question is, can we even be sure that the beef that was going on between these two men and their wives wasn't instigated by YouTube to begin with?
Right.
And let's just be clear about this. You know, there's a lot of things we do not discuss. We don't have to. But there is a personal connection to the Demore Hadley story that affects us both.
Hmm.
And maybe we should
Yep.
talk about that members only live
News
on
on.
our channel.
Well, that's what we're going. Pause real quick because that's steak. You've been talking. You've been saying some real spill, and I see the people who have hit the channel have gone up, increased, great, but the likes have not gone up. 2 likes from when you started talking. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we'll go 5 more minutes, and then let's if these likes are not liking, let's just get over to the members
the
only on your side
yeah,
because this is ridiculous, and this is what Jag is talking about. Support, support, support. Right? Look, she said that there was people that have been unalive, and yeah, that's unfortunate. Rest in peace to those 2 people who have been unalive, and those content creators. I mean, it was that all that was uncalled for, but nobody's getting struck or no, it's more attention on that. But then talking about what we're talking about in regards to this lawsuit, we get hit, we get a strike for that, and
for
there's a
what?
whole, yeah. I
That's
mean,
the
it's
thing.
ridiculous.
No, but see, it's not just the strikes; it's the manner in which all of it happened. And there are other things that are happening in the backdrop that a lot of people don't seem to know or understand. And we keep things quiet because we're not trying to inflame the nonsense. We're trying to
Hmm.
stay focused and we're trying to stay forward. But everyone who's a member here, if you've been around since last year as this channel began to grow, legitimately, legitimately grow, you would know that there were people cloning people's wrenches. There were people cloning people's accounts. There were people coming into people's stream yards. There was a lot that has happened.
It's a whole lot. There's a whole lot, and that's why even this story about Demore and her situation, yeah, it definitely we can relate, and we're gonna get into that. But the focus is her story,
Hold
her
on
and
one
Javon's
second.
story.
1 second. I need to see 50 more likes now.
Oh no, 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 they're not playing. If look, 2 minutes, I'm gonna shut this up. Yep,
No,
I'm
because at
standing
this
right in
point,
front of the
this
daggone
is
Slauson. That's right.
it is disrespectful.
Oh no, it is. It is. I'm gonna shut it down, and we'll just we'll talk more about it over on your uh members only, because yeah, this is ridiculous. It's disrespectful, like you said. And yeah,
It
for
is.
someone who said I'm standing right here on, so I'm gonna be right here for a few hours, right? So if and then let me speak on this too, real quick, Jack, because I had to highlight the situation. I ran into uh the official primate, the queen primate, the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and he made it seem, oh, I was scared and I didn't want to, I like, dude. Number one, I'm not going to be confronting a homosexual man in the middle of LA so that you could do what? I don't know. And I'm not going to get out the car, my car. I literally pulled up on you and took a
I
picture,
hope you would get struck for that
video
playing
of
in the
you.
background.
Oh, well, y'all can hear it? Hold on. Man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Hold on. These people, man. It's probably not. Is it too loud? Is it loud enough? I don't know.
You
I'm gonna
can
get. I'm
hear it
getting away
loud.
from it.
You can hear it loud enough.
Yeah, these motherfuckers be coming in playing that Usher. Man, get up out of here, please. Listen, weirdo. Anyway, yeah. Like, so hopefully it's a little bit better.
It's getting a little
Um,
less.
yeah, but look, just like someone said, oh yeah, he's standing on the corner of Christian. Yeah, and
No, this
see,
is the
see, this is the
thing.
problem.
Yeah, go, please go ahead. No, I'm just like, why do you care?
Right. You
Why do
you
you
want to
care? And
announce
what
where the fuck
exactly
I'm
is it
at?
that you're trying to do? Number one, we have had several
Right.
content creators sit here on this app on several occasions and threaten the both of our lives openly.
Yeah. So y'all, the person who made that comment, just screenshot the name because I need that. But don't, and whether you're doing it intentionally or you unintentionally, come on, it's stupid. That's why I'm bringing up the king primate situation, right? Um, look again, y'all hit the likes. If there's 200 people and we got less likes, we got come on. If y'all don't hit the likes, we're
There
done.
should be at least 150 likes in here.
No,
We're
no, no, no,
about
no,
95 short.
Jay Mizak. No, look, stop getting rid of people. When people say stuff, we got to have this documented. If y'all got rid of the person, if you get rid of them, at least screenshot the name so I have it, and we go from there. I'm not. You say don't be out in public doing the live. Then that's stupid. Okay, all right, whatever you
No, no,
say.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
I can
Why
do what
not?
the I
No,
can do what I want to do. This is
no, but this is
America.
the thing. This is
I
the
ain't
thing.
worried about any of
Who
that.
are you? No, who is anyone to tell anyone what they can do and where they can go?
Threatening
It is
somebody's
every
life
American. It
on
is
air.
every. It is every American's like right to be able to do and go freely and be who they want to be. Say what
Look
they want to say.
again, y'all know what to do. We got some great mods here. Y'all know what to do, and
This is
that's the reason
starting to
why we
just feel
have the
like
mod.
people are trying to intimidate us because they're afraid.
That part. No, I can't be intimidated. Not right here. What y'all gonna do? Yeah, I'm on Slauson and Crenshaw, and I'm gonna be here for a few hours. And but back to what I was saying about the situation with the primate. Um,
I just find
yeah,
it funny. They won't stand up for actual, true born American citizens' rights, but they're worried about illegals.
that interesting, right? Interesting.
I
Uh,
want to make that very clear. And this has nothing to do
Look,
with
y'all.
race. This has nothing to do with any of that. You sit here and you watch people threaten our rights, our God given rights as American citizens, but you'd rather sit around and talk about people who are here illegally.
Mm,
See,
yeah,
that's the whole point that I think everyone is missing. Illegal is illegal. That's what it means.
illegal.
We are legal
250,
citizens.
250 people, only 70 something likes. All right, look, we about to shut this down. All right, look, I will say 2 minutes. I'm shutting this down, and I don't be doing lives like that anyway. We'll get over to members only Jaguar right show to further discuss this because right now it just looks like you got a whole bunch of people who are not true supporters. That's part of the reason why. And shout out to everybody who subscribed. Once I get over this 10K, my channel shot up. So praise God. I appreciate that. But once I get over this 10K, I will have a Patreon as well. Jag already has a Patreon. She has a nice community over there.
We're
Uh,
growing.
yeah, it's coming along. I made a suggestion. Have any of y'all saw that movie Straw?
That's
That
exactly
it's
what
a
your mother sounds like when she sits down on the toilet. Womp womp.
womp womp. There you go. Womp womp. Yo hats. Yeah, y'all know what to do with that person. Um, you thought
I'm
Jaguar was
sorry.
being sued? No, she was not. She's not being sued. That's not happening. There's
You
other
want to know
people
what's
that are being
sad?
sued,
You want
and
to know what's
they
really sad? That people are so worried about it, but want to act like they're not worried about it.
right.
You want to know what's really sad? That every last one of you are sitting here fighting to hold on to the devil's agenda. The one thing that Diddy's trial is doing, other than articulating everything that I've been saying, is pointing out three real facts. Most of these people are people of color. Every last one of them are just depraved and immoral. And they're all on pharmaceuticals.
Mm,
They're all on pharmaceuticals. Since when do we waste our time, especially if we're true God fearing people, about protecting degenerate, immoral pharmaceutical heads? It's wild.
shout out to Elon Musk, the head pharmaceutical head allegedly.
Well, I
Elon
mean,
freaking
it,
Musk.
no, but
Um.
it seems that that's what runs this country. That's what
Oh
it
no,
seems
of
like to
course.
me.
Bunch of drug addicts, bunch of look, I'm glad you said that because when we talk about unhinged people and drug addicts and stuff like that, well, I'm gonna come back later and I'm gonna talk about Mo Preem. I know you don't want no parts of that conversation. That's cool,
I'm
but
sorry. They in here now. Jay, come and get it. Ooh, Timber, what are you
temper.
talking about?
Maybe he or she is talking about these trolls, but we'll see.
I don't know.
You
I
beggars. Oh,
don't
that's
know.
Nitty. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, the
the Nitty wants
weirdo.
some. She,
The
yeah, she
weirdo.
look. This is
I'm gonna
what I
tell
was
you what. No,
saying.
no, no, no. I'm gonna tell you what a beggar is. Somebody whose numbers fall all the way from the floor, all the way through the floor, from the floor through the floor into the basement, and you're here
Right.
because we already know by your social blade numbers. Those numbers we see on those videos aren't real.
Nah.
Your engagement isn't real. You being here is sad. And more importantly than that, all of you weirdo toothpick people, why don't y'all explain why you're so interested in Demore's lawsuit now? You weren't interested in it 2 weeks ago when it first hit the wire. You weren't interested when y'all heard we first spoke with her. Matter of fact, you weren't interested in it when I was doing the breakdown on the AI video, because that video
No.
was AI. And we're going to
Yep.
get to that. But
Oh
see,
yeah.
what people are really upset about is that we're not releasing everything so you guys can attack it. You don't know what we're doing. See, this is how we know we no longer have spies around us. Because if we still had spies and spy mods, liars, thieves, grifters, and beggars like you people, like you, Nitty, beggar, begging for attention, what are you going to do? What do you think you're going to discover? Hmm? I tell you what,
Anything to throw a wrench in what it is that we got.
no, anything to serve their master, because there was never a Jaguar right sector. What there was a Jay-Z sector that was put together to go after Jaguar right. And once we officially disbanded that whole thing and tore it to smithereens, Another sector was created called the Angie Stone sector as a diversion and a distraction to try to draw me into something else. You people are pathetic. If you spent this much time on your own lives, you might actually be something more than an internet troll. But you're not. And what's really sad is most of you are in your 40s and 50s.
Yeah, y'all should be worried about y'all blood pressure and your high cholesterol.
Why? Why?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
So,
we got a whole bunch. Well, no, I'm just saying that's what they should be worried about. If they don't worry about it, that's great, so they can kick the bucket sooner. You got a lot of people who are, like I said, not elders but olders. You do nothing but get old, and you're
yeah.
sitting over here being antagonistic. Again, y'all hit the like button, please. You being antagonistic for no real reason. You're attacking true victims for no reason because you're anonymous or you think you're anonymous. You think, oh, but you know, when real life catches up to you, we'll see how all that plays out. That's pretty much all I really got to say. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
just want to correct you guys on something. This isn't my year. This isn't about me. This is about the truth. This is the truth's year. This is God's year.
Yeah.
But no one's going to be bullied.
No, not at
No
all.
one's going to be pushed around. Whatever we've already sustained and endured, trust me, it's not going to go much further than that. Y'all, like I told you, y'all go first, we'll go second. What you're mad about is you did not see this angle. Because the one thing that I will say about this Diddy trial that I'm getting very sick and tired of is everybody trying to make it all about Diddy and what he did with who he did it with. And nobody else did any of it with him. There was nobody else around,
Oh,
just him,
and
which
shout
is
out to
interesting.
Shout out to Torre. Ass. He said something, and he was on TMZ yesterday. Man, choke on a dick, bro. You said something. Oh well, you tried to come after Jack. Oh well, Jack said that the freak offs were a bunch of people, and according to the court documents, as we can see, it's only two or three people. But
You
now are we?
no,
Now is you still standing on that dumbass foray? Go ahead. I'm sorry
it's
because
funny. They get to say, no, they get to say all kinds of stupid things. And guess what? Their stupidity and their ignorance and their lack of facts constantly just gets promoted while the truth is constantly suppressed. What kind of world are we living in? Because, see, all of this is done for the benefit of the audience. But meanwhile, it's the audience that's the most misinformed because of all of the lies. All of the lies.
yeah. Again, these likes are very disrespectful.
Yeah,
Um,
they are.
so we're gonna sign off since Nitty. Shout out to Nitty and yo nappy back of your nappy stinking neck. Um,
You want to know what's so
you
funny? People are talking about, oh, Jay-Z was involved. Oh, really?
involved? Okay, let's
There
we
was a
look.
whole video. There was a whole video from 2024 with the Baby sitting there talking, being at Diddy's house with Jay Z and Beyonce on Club Shay Shay, saying that he was asked to stay for a private party after the main party, where Beyonce presented herself to him, almost as if she was some kind of gift. Now, let's be clear on that. That is the true definition of a freak off. That's everything that they said it was. The party after the party after the party. Like, come on.
Well, see, they're talking about the cuckolding and all that, the stuff that goes on at a lot of these, people's these a lot of these celebrity men are impotent or they just don't, a woman one on one don't get them off anymore, so they gotta do all types of other stuff. That's coming out. I know Torre, you, you black Doctor Spot. Well, no, not Doctor Spot. Who's
See, this
the
is the
Doc from
thing.
Back to the Future looking
Anybody
ass?
anybody that's sitting over there at TMZ right now is compromised. I just find it funny
Speak-
that he's so busy worried about being down on Diddy when it was Torre who actually got his own nephew an internship at Bad Boy.
Oh yeah. Oh, and
Where's
you
your
mentioned
nephew at,
TMZ.
kid?
I know we may need to run up on him and interview him. Like, how was your time at Bad Boy? But speaking of TMZ, oh, they're going to
Nine
be
times out of 10, he's
implicated.
got a gag order like somebody else's.
Okay, they're going to be included in this story as well. I'm going to go deep into the whole TMZ thing, and shout out to TMZ. We already got y'all. Y'all done did a whole bunch of just lies on Jag, and we tried to call and clip Jamie. I tried to call and clear it up with you, and what did you do? You hung up on me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have another conversation with you once we get the Moray story out. But yeah, you guys are
you're
complicit with this.
manipulating the media. You're manipulating the media and corrupting public perception of what's actually going on, hoping that you can create just enough distraction and misinformation so to see whether or not the government doesn't have to go and see. This is what everyone's afraid of.
Yeah, yeah,
See, this isn't
yeah.
going as smoothly as R. Kelly's case went. It's not.
Nah,
It's not
nah.
going as smoothly. See, you had the surviving R. Kelly story out there, just pummeling the public, pummeling the public with all of this craziness. And nobody was paying attention to the fact that someone who was a known associate and alleged concubine of Mr. Carter
Mm,
was running the whole
mm,
scam in the backdrop.
mm.
Dream Hampton. Why has nobody brought up Dream Hampton's name? Matter of fact, why is it that every time something comes up, Mr. Carter doesn't want to be involved? Because the second that this lawsuit was also addressed, he made it very clear whatever's going on with the CEO has nothing to do with him or Rock Nation. How?
No. Well, we got one person that had something going on as well, and we indicated who this person was. And I think the next video we'll have another clear image. In fact, look, it's funny. I use her image as my thumbnail, and I was having all kind of
What?
problems trying
I'm
to get this
sorry.
up.
I'm sorry. They're going to have a difficult time convicting who? He's already lost the case. If you look at the details and you look at everything that is going on and all that was done using company stuff, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, I got the
You're out of
power. I
your
think you got.
mind.
I think you got the wrong answer. I think you
No,
got the
it's
wrong
not. No, it's not that he has
solution.
the. It's not that he has the wrong answer or the wrong solution. He came here specifically to try to sway public
No, no, no.
opinion.
He's
No,
saying it's his
it's not your
opinion, but at
opinion.
the same
No, it
time,
is not your opinion.
if you look at
It's the opinion that you're being paid to
if you
give.
look if you look at the case, I don't know if he's gonna be exonerated, bro. That's all I'm saying. That, but you can have your opinion. That's right. But the Jackson, remember I said your voice. Remember what I said about your voice. Imagine, don't give this guy no kind of attention because obviously, yeah, he's
Oh,
paid
I'm
to do what.
not.
Okay, that's fine. But let's just double back. If you look at the case,
I don't
it,
have to
it,
see.
it
I know
don't
what
look
God
good.
tells me. I know what
It don't
God
look
told
good.
me.
It don't look good, Diddy.
Only thing that you're proving is you are a devil worshiping sodomite. Because anybody who would want that maniac loose on the street would have to find something in common with him.
Hmm.
That's what it
Yep.
proves. All of you
Yep.
need to think about that. Every last one of you that run around here advocating for these strange, weird people. You're sitting here fighting for the devil and you're making a mockery of everyone that they've hurt, everyone that they've betrayed, everyone that they used. Like the simple fact that you guys can sit there and listen to the stories that these women are telling on the stand and not see how broken these people are. These are broken people
Yep.
to allow someone to call you a crack pipe and think that that's love and favor.
That was weird, right? That was weird.
To hear
CP, you a
audio
crack pipe.
clips, to hear to hear audio of saying, "Oh man, I feel bad that you had to throw up like that. I didn't know you was that sick, but rest up and get ready for the next abusive session." I'm sick and tired of people referring to these things as relationships.
Hmm.
What makes any of
Hmm.
you people think these people want to call themselves what they are? Meanwhile, they're sitting there talking about how they were competing for the affection of a person who is terrible. These are broken people. These are people who sold their souls to the devil for clothes and for shoes and for vacations that they don't even
Yeah.
remember because they were so high out of their mind. They could barely
Mm.
recollect what happened while they were there.
Mm. Shout out to Blink Twice. We might. Okay, so now that we got the Patreon figured out, let's step aside real quick. Side note: we might have to do that review again with everybody. If y'all down, y'all get over to the Patreon with Jag. We'll discuss it. We're gonna do a lot more of that. But yeah, Blink Twice talked about that, where you know
I
that
want to
whole little
ask,
situation.
I only want the women in the room to acknowledge this, and we need another 100 likes. Please don't stop liking. It's a mere double tap of the screen. All women in the room, just women, put a one in the chat if anything you hear these women say about their so called relationship with the diddler. Does that sound like love to you? Put a one in the chat if it sounds like love. Put a two in the chat if it sounds like abuse.
Hmm.
And once again, everyone keeps listening to all of this and they're not paying attention to the simple fact, like I said, on the couch, where do you go when you get screwed over by the industry?
Yeah.
You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. And the boss's boss don't care. You can go to the authorities, but most of them are all bought and paid for.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even if you can make it to litigation and get yourself
Hmm.
a special prosecutor, they'll just have somebody come and reassign them to another case and put somebody in there that they want.
And you could have great legal representation, but the powers that be will pull that legal representative to the side, make them cut them a deal, tank your case. I mean, come on, y'all.
Are we
This is
even looking at
America,
the
but this
fact
is
that a
America.
lot of these people that they have on this stand, these don't sound like people that are fully competent either? Easily manipulated, easily fooled. But if you believe that the person that you're dealing with has more power and operates more like a god on earth than a human being, what other choice do you have? Love isn't surveillancing someone. Yes, the boule. And what's really sad is these women have all made it very clear that these men are involved in homosexual engagement while they're all together. These aren't even straight men. So, what does that tell you about the world we're living in? Because there's no way a man that says he loves you can sit there and watch you be ran through by
Hmm.
a bunch of strangers for enjoyment. Not no real man. Not in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I should ask a real man. What do you think about that? Odell?
Mm-mm. I'm good. If now I'm not gonna do any of that, and I'm not participating in any of that. It's like, come on, that's mm-mm. That's not. I would say that's not. It's not ethical. It's not masculine. It's not moral. That's just
It's
me.
not humane. It's not humane because intimacy between a man and a woman is a sacred thing. It really is. Trust me, I
And
know.
that's why I said the situation that was going on with these Diddy situation was on the same frequency level of the Aleister Crowley things that he was doing 100 years ago. They got him kicked out the country. Um, where you have the sex magic, and that's what people are really not talking about.
No, they're
The whole
staying
freak
away
off
from
thing
that.
was a sex magic. Yeah, we could do a deeper dive on that if y'all want. If y'all really want to, just make that request. Maybe I'll make it members only. But I do have information just about the sex magic stuff, the Aleister Crowley, the possibility of Barbara Bush being a daughter of Aleister Crowley. Like, yo, but that's what's going on with these sex rituals, orgies that Diddy and him. Well, look, Diddy, Jag. This is one thing that they really, I know you probably know of Diddy from way back in the '90s. I mean, in the '90s in New York and stuff like that. He recently really just came out to L.A. and he wasn't the father of these parties. We everybody know in L.A. Everybody knows Jamie Foxx. Everybody know it was Jamie Foxx, right?
Everybody knows that, which is
Everybody
why
know that.
I find it extremely cheeky that people are acting. No, but see, just like Cat Williams said, the main job of people involved in the Illuminati is to pretend like it doesn't exist.
Of course,
These
of
people are
course.
constantly sitting, and I know because I used to be one of them, and I got tired of lying for people who I knew didn't care nothing about me or nothing about the future of this country. These are liars. But let's talk about it. The red Hot Chili Peppers album. I don't even think anybody paid attention to that. Blood,
Oh, the
sex,
title,
sugar, and magic.
Magic. Yeah, it's Magic spelled with a K.
Yeah, Aleister Crowley.
Yep.
It's so funny. There's a producer that was working in Dallas, and he used to be married to a woman who was down with the Badu, what was Afuma, whatever her name is.
Queen of Four.
Yeah, she was down with all of that. And I'll never forget the day he said, "Man, I did a whole album in a whole day. I can't believe I got this done." He was so excited. He was like, "Man, my wife went and she buried a jar of sugar in the yard.
Mm.
The music just poured out of me. I can't believe it. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop."
That's
He had
interesting.
no idea. He had no idea what he had allowed in his house. No
Yeah.
idea. She was also known as a person who liked to make edibles. She used to make, you know, edible this and edible that until I found out
Mm.
someone told me she was putting something a little more than cannabis in
Mm.
those edible projects. I would never
I can,
try
I can
anything or
imagine.
take anything, but she was one of the Badu cliquish girls. And I found it funny that they incepted her into his life. This is what they do. It's straight witchcraft. It's a straight witch's coven.
Let me let y'all in on something. One of my teachers is well, I won't say like direct, but I do have the connection with Dr. Phil Valentine, and he was married to Queen of Four for some time, right? And they're divorced now. I know some stuff about the family and shit like that too. Shout out to Queen of Four. But I'm gonna tell y'all too, this conscious community shit, there's like some gangbanging shit too. Like
Fake,
there's just certain people you don't
fake.
cross, and yeah, it's fake as fuck. Um, Lauren London is down with Queen of Four and all them too. You know that, bro. The entertainment industry and that all that that stuff is like intertwined, y'all. Like when y'all like once we get out of this, we'll start breaking all this down because truth be told, I think the public needs to know as far as the connections and the relationships that these people have. Back to what you were saying about that magic of putting the sugar. Yeah, yeah.
burying it in the ground with special words written and burned and put on the inside. It's a whole ritual.
Yeah,
People carving pumpkins and putting things like pubic hair and
yeah.
cracked eggshells and stuff like that. What I found in my manager Richard Nichols' room that his wife and her mother put together. His wife, Mercedes Martinez from the Jazzy Fat Nasties, the same people that lied to everybody and told him he had been dead when he wasn't. They announced to the world that he was dead and then waited for him to expire.
Mm,
Every time I
mm.
hear somebody dying from cancer, I have to ask myself, is that a salute to Ananda Lewis? You know, we
Rest
keep
in peace.
hearing about these people bringing in all of these dangerous toxins and stuff like this. And I spoke about all of these things. And it's weird. It's weird that we have fallen to the place in this country where we are so self reliant on witchcraft that we don't even want to admit that we're in it.
Hell, the AI stuff could be aliens or demons. We ain't nobody talking about that though.
Let's be very
Uh,
clear. AI is conjured,
is the mark of the
is
beast, sweetheart.
conjured, it's conjured.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and and to Timberland, I want to thank you for your honest admission. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, Timberland won some demonic," and he came back with his disc, with his little AI cartoon characters, dissing everybody and telling everybody, "Oh yeah, you didn't have a problem with AI when it was just auto tune and it was making you sound better, and you just mad at this and mad at that and mad at this." And you know what it got me to thinking? You know what? He's right. He should stick to AI artists so we don't have to worry about how many more he plans on helping sacrifice.
I
You
think
don't
people
really
are mad.
allegedly.
I think people are mad that Timberland probably had his own little AI thing going for some time. Don't get it twisted. If you got the money, you got ahead of the game, and you invested in these. AI is
He
basically, large language model, fake brains, right? Artificial brains, and you could train it to do what you wanted to do. So of course he has a library of music that he produced, but he also was like taking submissions from different producers, like, "Hey, you want to be up under me? You want to be down with me here? Give me some of your beats, blah blah blah." And what does that do? That
grabbing.
creates algorithms so that you could create a different style that sounds like this person that he done took 20
It's
beats
like
from.
see, it's like stealing a little bit of someone's soul
Exactly.
so that you can conjure up your own. And you know what? That's great. And I'm glad he's so happy about his AI artists. And I'm glad he thinks that they're so dope. And I'm glad that he thinks they're so much doper than all of the other people that he worked with. I guess that would be including yourself because you were an artist too, and your solo career didn't do so well.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with all of the artists that you didn't have to use AI or auto tuning for. Nobody ever had to put nothing on me to make me sound like what I sound like.
Hmm.
It's
That's what
sad.
they
Any
don't want.
It no, it's sad how many times I've gone to a studio. How many times have you gone to the studio with me and people are sitting up there, "Oh my God, you don't need any auto tune. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
oh my God."
You don't even need Melodyne. I've never you don't like you just go in and it's you. Real spill.
And guess
If
what?
y'all don't know, people go in the studio, these artists go in the studio, they need Melodyne. That's like, when they say pitchy, they use that software to pitch up, pitch down. It could be a half, from a natural to a B flat or Jag ears is crazy. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I want to know is all of those artists that he used auto tune on, how much of their voices has he kept? I tell you one thing, I better not hear an AI artist come from him that sounds anything like Aaliyah.
Oh,
That I do know.
mm-mm-mm,
Or should we talk
mm-mm-mm.
about all of the AI videos with R. Kelly now making music from jail with different artists, with different this, with different that?
Well, what is your take? They're saying that R. Kelly might be free soon, and Tory Lanez might be free soon.
What I do know is this: people need to start asking themselves why people that have a problem with or attachment to certain organizations are now all of a sudden in danger during this trial. R. Kelly's been sitting in jail now for what, 5, 6 years?
Hmm.
Why
Hmm.
now? Why now? Why not
Right.
until this trial is his
Right.
life being? Tory Lanez was in jail, perfectly fine, no issues, no problems, becoming a peacemaker, creating unity, creating bond, like making the most of his time and doing what he can do to just honor God in the best way possible while he's going there. And then all of a sudden, the first day of the Diddy trial, like it's always the timing, and I don't understand why people are having such a hard time
Yeah.
sticking to
Yeah.
that. But what I do know that they're upset about is that I'm not there arguing this case with them because we have moved on to something very relevant. See,
Oh, go ahead. All I was gonna say
no,
is, speaking of relevance, because I'm like, let's get back on track with the topic, because
mhm,
obviously it's relevant. It hit home, and I got hit, and they're like, "Oh, you can't use this person's photo." Oh, okay, all right, okay, all right, you're right. They're going to those extremes to prevent the journalistic integrity of the story. I know there's a narrative that's being pushed about, Demore, and she was being abused and stuff like that. That's not the case. That's
no.
part of the reason why we're pushing from her mouth, because you're not telling her to say anything, and I'm not producing anything to make it seem as if she's saying anything different. She's letting us know there's never been any abuse, you know, and that's what we're pushing. But yeah, there was fake audio that was, and I'm not going to include it, Jag. I'm not going to even include it in the story because of what's going on right now, right? But there was fake audio uh, of her saying some stuff, and
It
they're
wasn't even
standing on
her.
that. It wasn't her. They're standing on that. But you can easily, manipulate voices. Shit, we did that with Corey Holcomb, remember? So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I guess what they're trying to do, and let's not get, I ain't gonna kick the chair, because we don't want to give the Moloch in them any content, because you know what they're trying to do, right? Um,
I don't know
they're
what
trying to
they're
push
trying to
this.
do. What I do know is that I went through Nick's channel the other day and I saw a video where apparently that very unfortunate Haitian person, hateful Haitian person, sat there with a known racist and cheered her on and said that she needed to come and unalive me and then
Oh,
put her
really?
hand up to her throat and said, "You need to go in for the kill."
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I need that clip. I need that clip for my case. Yeah,
Your
that's great.
channel needs to be
Again,
shut down,
yeah, yeah. See, the thing is,
especially considering what just happened.
yeah, that's what I was going to touch on. You're saying things, and like I said, I don't realize. I don't think she realizes how slow she is. You're saying things that's going to get you caught up, and you're inflaming, just like the situation with what is it, Finney and that other guy.
Yeah.
The audience was just inflaming. Oh yeah, let everybody know where you're at, and blah blah blah. This and that. No, they were inflaming the situation
And
where
they
it
were
should have been
encouraging it
de-escalated.
with super chats
Yeah,
and cash
it,
app.
it should have been de-escalated. It should have been de-escalated, meaning, hey, this is, y'all should go here or y'all should get out of the street, blah, blah, blah. Don't do nothing, lie, blah, blah, blah. It should have been de-escalated.
How about it should have been
But
reported? All of it should have been
that
reported.
too, that too. Now, a person like the hating, because she's not Haitian, she's hating, right? The hating, uh, what are you doing? You actually incur. Oh, okay, all right. So
You need
we
to
gonna get all
end
that taken care of.
her. You
Yeah,
need to
let,
end what?
let's go ahead and get all that.
No,
See, people.
it's time for that to be sent to the authorities because what it looks like is that you're sitting here trying to encourage someone to take my life. I don't know
Yeah,
you.
no, I know, I know.
I only knew you online. I never
Yeah,
had anything to do with you. And what's really
yeah.
strange is you keep trying to sell this story that someone did something to you. Nothing happened to
Nothing happened
you.
to you. No one planned on doing anything. That's why I said I'm gonna get with her about my situation because she literally is putting my name out there like I am a SES traffic to the king, right?
No,
And
my
like
question is
she's
how?
a weirdo,
How?
weirdo, weirdo,
No, the question is how.
just weird.
We asked a member who we thought was a member of our team to go to the Diddy trial, to be there so that we could have someone in the courtroom that we could trust so I didn't have to. I ended up having to go there myself and then set some other things up. We had asked someone else to go. That had nothing to do with anything. That had nothing to do with anything. Who was going to do something to you? More importantly, who would want to? Because you're starting to look more like one of those like animated jack-o'-lanterns as the days go by. You look insane.
A disheveled jack o' lantern.
Like you look insane for threatening my life. I'm sorry, I do not see how any of this fits with community guidelines. But then again, you're sitting there following the lead of someone who actually AI'd my voice, called into the police, played it, and had me descended upon by 10 officers pointing assault pow pows at my head live online.
And they thought it was funny, and they did it for content.
And that's those toothpick people did that. Maybe the reason why they want to get into this story, maybe the reason why they're trying to find a way to inject themselves into the story is because, as I show all of the evidence that Demore has supplied us with, it's going to start to look like a lot like the stuff they've done to me.
Exactly,
The AI
exactly.
picture, the AI picture that was given to the hospital saying that I was insane and I needed to be hospitalized. I know for a fact that picture was AI by the Avenger people.
Oh, but wait till we drop the next story because all those photos, everything's going to be included. And again, Jag is not making this whole situation about her. Everything that's coming out needs to come out, and
No, your mother is insane.
there's a correlation. Who said what? What are you saying? I'm lost. Ascending Phoenix. We'll explain it. We'll explain. Who said something about you're insane? I don't see
Rick
it.
James.
Oh, where's that? Oh, I thought I saw it. Okay, it don't
Jay
matter.
got it.
Nonetheless. Look, no, this and Jag isn't making this about her. What it is when you see everything that has
Oh,
happened to
wow.
tomorrow, that it don't even more about that. Yeah, okay, Josh, you weirdo.
You want to
Um,
know what's really weird? That nobody's paying attention to the fact that while all of these demonic and immoral stuff is going on, they're literally attacking real relationships, real people, God fearing. Let's just be very clear. The part of the story that resonates the most with me when I listen to what's happening to Javon and Demore Hadley is that these are real God fearing people who don't want nothing but what God gives them. They're not interested in society standards and norms. They just are good God fearing people and they're being attacked. they're being attacked, and I guess everyone, I don't know, did Demore not clear it up that Javon's only offense against her mother, or the, you know, was the fact that he didn't come from the neighborhood that she wanted,
Yeah,
and that he wasn't the color that she
yeah.
wanted.
Hmm. And I mentioned that yesterday on my live. I talked about that term that a lot of people in the Latin community run with, that mejora la raza, I believe, uplift the race and or lighten the race, because it's like, if you marry someone of African descent or darker skin, you are degrading
Mark,
the race according to them, right? So yeah, and then Desiree Perez whispered in her daughter's ear before the last time she ever saw her daughter, if you marry that nigger,
N word.
I will have you committed. I will have you Baker acted. Wow. And this person runs a black label,
Company. Yeah.
a company, just so anti-black. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Not
Like I said,
only
I get
not
it.
not not only that, but if Rock Nation did not want to be affiliated with any of this foolishness, Rock Nation employees shouldn't have been enacted to tell lies,
And Martha, I
to
see
put
what you're saying. No, no, Martha said that's not all of us. No, we know that. We're not. This is not. This is some, but not all. This is not a blanket statement to everyone in the Latin community, because I have a lot of people who are good friends. In fact, my first name is because my dad was friends with a Latin Mexican family, and boom. That's not
it's
everybody.
just
We know that.
sad.
But we're talking about was this particular who has influence, money, power, all that, and is able to steer the narrative. Talk like, they can demonize a certain individual like they have been doing. I'm just saying black men, but specifically, according to the lawsuit, Desiree Perez has been demonizing Jovan and making him
For
to,
years.
to make it seem as if he is whatever they were trying to make him
They
out to
are
be.
painting him out to be every stereotype that Americans jump onto when it comes to Black men.
There you
Every
go.
stereotype. Every stereotype.
And Jovan was, you guys will see in the video, this next one coming up. The last video, if you guys go and you see this interview, there's video footage of police coming out, checking on the Moray. They're talking to Jovan. They've had a spat about some business stuff, right? Essentially, they basically were just kind of, having an argument about business. And it wasn't even really an argument. They just had a disagreement. And the police was called, and everything looked fine. They some witnesses said, Javon did something to Demore, which was not
Oh,
true.
no, no, no. No,
And
no, no. For those who haven't seen it, and once again, we're going to be going over to the Jaguar Right Effect channel
yeah,
in a
yeah,
little while, and we're
yeah,
going to get into this members only.
yeah.
But this
Oh
is
yeah,
the
let's do
thing.
it.
You need to share this video.
Yeah,
What is being done
yeah.
to them, it can and it has happened to so many people. You need to share. This isn't entertainment. This is
Jr.
education.
Jr. I hear what you're saying about AGI, but what you're talking about, Jag being paranoid. She's not paranoid. She never was paranoid. So let's take
No,
that
that's
out
what
of
people
let's take that
on
out of your lexicon.
that's what people on this app have been trying to push for 5 years
I know,
straight.
I know. And me
And it's
seeing
been
it
allowed.
personally,
They
me
turned
seeing
it
it
into a
personally,
money making machine. And they
they turned
brought
it in.
in people. They
Yeah,
brought in people
yeah.
and told them you can make a living off of lying about this woman. And they have.
And that's what's going to be so eye opening about this the continuance of the Demaray Hadley story, because a lot of people will start to see like, oh wait, hold on, if this woman is the CEO of Roc Nation, and she did this to her own daughter just because. And her and the daughter Demaray and Javon have been together for almost 2 decades. They've known each other
16
pretty much half their whole life.
years.
Why would you not want your daughter in a stable, committed relationship? Maybe you want her thought it out. Maybe that's what Desiree wants, to have her daughter to be a thought.
I'm sorry.
And
We're going to address this. I don't know who you are, JR. I don't know where you came from. Paranoia? Who's being paranoid?
she's not paranoid.
These are
Anyway, look,
facts.
check this out, man. Let
These
me
are,
let me
look,
let me just
these are
let me just
facts.
put you on a nice little vacation for the time
You
being.
can you
But
you can sit there and
overall,
you can say it all you want. What you're
what I don't
doing
understand is,
is you're pushing the narrative. No one's paranoid.
all right, let's move on. Angela said, what I don't understand is Demari's mom is against her fiance, but she's second in command to Jay Z, who is black. Make it make sense. Yeah, I mean, you ain't
Well,
got to.
that's not her fiance. That is her husband.
Well, yeah, that's her husband, right? And
Because
again,
people keep referring
Desiree.
to him as her boyfriend. And
Oh no, they're
yes,
married. They're married.
he was her
At the time,
boyfriend.
they were. At the time, they were.
And guess what? After everything her mother put them through,
Hmm.
they still chose each other.
And she talks about it. There are times when they were about to break up, and she even said, "Hey, look, I understand if you don't want to be with me because of my crazy ass mama. I get it." She said that, and that's tough, because it's like if you love someone, yeah, it is true. Like if you really love someone, let them go, because under the circumstances, I understand why she would say something like that. But Jovan is a real one because he stuck by her, and he's still with her, and they got married. Like
My
so
heart,
salute to
my
them.
heart breaks for her because I've had to say the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
People don't really understand. They really don't understand. My heart broke for her to have to turn away something that means everything to you to protect it because there is a force that will not leave you alone. That's just, oh God, that's, you damn right we on this story. You damn right. Because love is the most important thing in this world. It is the thing that grounds us. It is the thing that keeps us in step and in tune with God. To have somebody use money and power, but not just that, to use the law, to use the medical institutions.
Hmm.
It's unbelievable. And I know because I've experienced it myself, which is why I decided no matter how hard it was, no matter how hard they were going to try to come for me, no matter what they were going to try to pull, no matter what they were going to try to do, we had to do this. We had to for love, for God, for the truth. They're 30 years old. We're old enough to be these people's parents. And I have such a sense of pride for them because most people would have just walked away. Much. But when you truly love someone, you will put it all on the line. And
Yeah,
that's the
and
part of this story. Yeah, please.
no, I was gonna say you do put it all on the line, and that's why I said I commend Javon Hadley for continuing to stand by his woman, and now they'll show the world, they'll show the world how corrupt and how wicked some people can be, and in the games that some people play. And I don't even say just to play the game. They like just the overstepping of the boundaries. When you look into this lawsuit, it's just ridiculous. And again, we have the
You
evidence too to
you
show of
already heard. For those of you who haven't seen episode 1, you need to go and see it immediately, and you need to
yeah,
share it. You need
yeah.
to share it because that's what they don't want. What they don't want is for this story with me as the narrator and this very real story from this powerful woman's child. They don't want this to go viral at all.
Yeah, you guys could check it out. It's on Jaguar Effect. It's on the Jaguar Show. It is also the clip that they struck me for. I re-edited, so we got you guys can see this Roc Nation employee who they've been trying to hide because that's the smoking gun. They do not want to show the fact that she had used employees, she had used her resources, she had used her connections to stalk and harass the Hadleys. And yeah, we got struck for going or mentioning or showing. I'll say that for showing a Roc Nation employee. But I was
You want
able
to
to do
know
my
what's
due
sad?
diligence.
You want to know what's sad about that? Exactly. And that's the biggest part of the problem. That woman is wealthy enough. If she was going to do a smear campaign like this, she didn't need to use company resources. She had enough of her own money. Why didn't she
How much
go off
money? How
book?
much money did she spend on
On that
that we
one
can
lawsuit, they spent up to $2 million
$2
on
million?
that one suit.
I
$2
I wonder
million?
is that was that all? I wonder was that all her money? I'm sure she's probably used her own money for that. But all this other
I
stuff
don't
that
know.
it's
I don't
probably close to
know
the six
because you
seven
have to
million.
pay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm saying you look. She literally paid for a house across the street from where the Hadleys were staying to monitor them and stalk them with PIs, unlicensed PIs. I
Armed,
mean,
unlicensed
you're looking at
PIs.
somewhere at what I don't know, maybe close to 5 million just for that in itself. Like
That's it.
that's crazy. That's
Can you
crazy.
imagine being that thirsty for control that you'd be willing to spend millions of dollars on it? We need everyone to share these videos. We need everyone to share this story. There was so much information, we had to turn it into a series to make sure it didn't
Park right
get
here. I work
lost
at the
and that
radio
everyone
station.
got to hear it.
Maybe like 45 minutes an hour. That's fine. Okay,
What's really
thanks. Sorry.
crazy, what's really crazy though, what's really nuts is that they worked so hard to make a good black man sound like a monster. Meanwhile, the person that is her partner is still fighting, claiming legitimate responsibility over biological children
Mm,
that have been threatened and harassed in the
mm,
same manner.
mm.
I wonder how much of the gaslighting campaigns that have been going against Ramir mirror what has happened to Demore and
Well,
Javon.
guess what? Guess what? We might be getting him on to the Jaguar Rice show soon because there's a lot in common. I got to reach back out to MIA. Shout out to what's her name? Mia,
Yeah, MIA.
MIA. Because look, there's a whole different dynamic when you are an artist and they come after you because it's business. You're an artist, but then when you have people like Ramir, who I believe he's going to get his justice. So we gotta let a lot of things be fleshed out first. But I guarantee you, his story will be similar to what's been going on to Demore. I guarantee you.
See, that's the problem. They don't want y'all screaming no to them. Looking at some of the stuff that I've seen from the BET Awards, me sitting there looking at a group that I used to be a part of, the Roots, the minstrel show band for the Devil's Parade, taking everyone straight to hell. I'm just sitting there looking, and I'm looking at Tariq Trotter, Black Thought, spitting Biggie's rhymes with more accuracy than he's ever spit his own. The worship, the devil worship. It's sad. And they all sitting there looking real uncomfortable and trying to find a way to make their fraud show go viral while they want to stop relevant and real stories from coming forward about the effects of even being adjacent to any of these people. People like Demore, people like Ramir, this isn't their fault. These are just decent people that want to live their lives. But because they're not cooperating with the agenda over and over again, should not be happening to them. So why is it? Why is it allowed? We got to do better at spreading the word. I'm so aggressive. How am I aggressive? It's
Who said
funny.
you're aggressive?
Somebody in the chat.
Let's stop paying attention to the chat.
No,
Okay.
it's not called the law. That's not the law. Abusing the legal system? That's not the law. Paying people to lie, looking for ways. I mean, did anybody pay attention to episode 1 when they kept pushing Javon's court date back? Specifically, it was written in an email to keep him on edge.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was literally sent to a court official. Can you move it back a little further so we can keep him on edge? Why do you want to keep him on edge? He had done nothing wrong.
Right.
More importantly, he was being hauled in there for something that was never charged. Imagine having the police descend upon you for something that never happened. Having people come in, people that don't even speak English and can't understand what you're saying, accusing you of doing things you didn't do because you got a phone call from someone who was 1,200 miles away saying, get in there. He's DVing her.
Y'all
Wasn't
really,
even true.
y'all really should look at the story again. It's on
Wasn't even
the
true.
Jaguar Effect. It's on the Jaguar Show. Tomorrow we'll drop the that sneak peek for the video
Episode
where we
2,
got. Well, no, no, well, episode 2 will more than likely be ready Sunday evening for members only, though.
we'll
And then
see.
you push it out whenever you're ready, because essentially, uh,
We need everyone to share every episode with due diligence. Everyone to
Mm-hmm.
share.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
don't
Yep.
care who's at that courthouse because whatever is happening at that courthouse is to distract people from the very story we're doing right now.
I'm we over here getting this construction going. So do me a favor, Jack. Let's do this. Let's set up. Let's further
We'll reconvene.
keep on. Yeah, we're gonna do members only later. Whenever, just let me know.
It's sad. Like I said, who do you go to when you get screwed over by the industry? Who do you go to
Good
when the
question.
industry makes you public enemy number one?
Great question. There's really no one to go to, but we're going to develop the community to, that you could possibly go to. Jag, on that note, let's reconvene. Let me know, or I guess everybody go follow the Jaguar Effect, and we will. Yeah, we'll
And make
reconvene
sure
on
you
here.
get your membership. I know they make it hard for y'all too, but the chat will be a members only chat. We're not allowing any weirdos to come and say any strange things.
And
As
if
far
and
as
if
I'm
you want
concerned, this story it deserves reverence and respect. I will not let anyone disrespect it, not even for a second.
if you want to see, you want to be the first to see and review the interview, you got to be a part of Jag's Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jaguar, right? So each time or each week, because we'll probably release it every week or so. There's a 4-part series. The next part will more than likely release on Sunday to the members only, and the Patreons. You guys will be able to see it. So get on over there and check it out there because we kind of want to just
If
make it
and
a
if you're with
community.
us at Patreon, I'll be in there watching it with you, doing
Oh
live reaction and answering whatever questions you guys might have.
yeah, and that's the only place she does that. Only place.
I can't
So
do it here anymore.
yeah. Too many nosy people, too many spies.
No, no disrespect, free Israel. We're not talking about Israel. We're talking about the Hadleys. Justice for the Hadleys. I don't understand what it is with you people. You have such a hard time staying on topic. No one's talking about Israel.
Okay. All right. Well, look. Let's move on. Let me get back to what I need to do over here. I'll reconvene with you in a few. All right.
That's weird. It's weird. It is
Well,
weird how many people do not want the truth to come out. But I'm going to tell you something right now. The truth shall set you free. Lies only
indeed.
keep you bound,
Indeed.
they only keep you beholden. And I don't care how
Yep.
much they try to oppress me and suppress me. I am free. I
Indeed.
am
Indeed.
free.
Indeed. All right, y'all. Y'all sub to Jag's channel. Peace. And we'll see y'all in a few. I'm gonna probably come back on later. I'll just do it tomorrow, possibly, because I gotta put y'all up on what was going on, the conversation that me and Tupac's brother did. Tupac's birthday is on Monday. To the set.